Let's ride away.
Hey, quick note before we start this vlog. I started this vlog in the truck, and then I didn't have anybody to film my dressage, and so I kind of gave up vlogging. I didn't really talk to the camera very much. Then I got a bunch of footage in the show jumping and then a bunch of footage cross country, so I'm still gonna make this vlog, but it's just not gonna have any dressage. We got a 28.3, I think. So that's about what we've been scoring. We got, I think, a 28.9 the last time out, so it's pretty consistent for us. Come say hi, Zimmy. He's been over here biting my shirt, and then now he's eating some hay. We won't bother him because he's actually eating, which is good. So yeah, I might do some voiceovers just to like fluff out the content and tell you what I was thinking and how I was feeling and some feedback from the weekend, mostly so I can look back and track our progress, which is kind of cool. That's why I'm vlogging, is mostly for me, just so I can look back and remember the good old days, because these are the good old days, even though I'm old. These are the good old days with Zimmy, so we want to remember those. So anyway, back to past Megan in the truck headed to the horse park. Hello. We're headed to the horse park again. Zimmy is on the trailer. He is braided. It's actually later in the day. It's 2 o'clock-ish. And we're going novice again. So I think I'm actually gonna haul. I've never done this before, but I'm gonna, because our ride times are so late today and tomorrow, I'm hauling in, and then I'm gonna go home, and then I'm gonna turn him out and let him be with his buddies overnight. And then I go cross country tomorrow at 4:22, and so I'm just gonna haul back. It's about 2 hours to the horse park, so it's not as close as I would like, but it's not impossible. It is a lot of driving, but we'll see how he goes. I think actually him being at home outweighs the negatives of him being on the trailer so much. So anyway, I will try and get as much footage as I can, but I'm by myself, so we'll see what we can do. Yeah. So today is dressage and show jumping, and tomorrow's cross country, so wish us luck. Yep, this is all I got from dressage. It was a picture of us walking back. And this is me trying to memorize the strides and the ride for my show jumping. I mentioned this in the last vlog that I'm trying to be more intentional in the show jumping. My tendency when I get nervous is to be in a hurry and just try and get it over with. But you can't have flow state if you're in a hurry and trying to get it over with. So we are going to be intentional, purposeful, and focused in our preparation, in our warm-up, and in the arena. That is the goal. Sit up, 8, 7, 8, round, 9, short 2, flowing 9.
Number 189.
My friend Gina took this video. She came to watch my warm-up and then my round, which was very, very sweet, and I very much appreciate it. And I had some icky jumps right before I went into the arena, and I found myself spiraling, and I said, "No, Megan, no, not going there." So I jumped like one more time, and then I went into the arena, and I was like, we're gonna have a good time. Here I knew I was on the wrong lane, but I was like, you know what? We're just gonna not worry about leads today. We're just gonna worry about staying in rhythm and focusing on the next fence.
Nice. Girl. Easy.
It's funny now. I think I used to pull when I got nervous. Now I think I'm pushing him when I get nervous.
Yeah, perfect.
I was to the left of that fence, but I wasn't too mad about it because it
Good girl.
kind of just made me sweep to the next one. I had a little bit deep there, but it was fine. Actually, I had a moment right before that corner. I was like, where am I going? And then I was like, no, I'm going the right direction.
Nice.
That was supposed to be 6, and I did it in 5. Here we are in the right lead. It's so funny because he usually wants to be on the left lead, and he landed and stayed on the right lead there and did a few different leads and was so good coming back to me in that. And then I rode him up to that. I was like, do not panic at the last fence call. This is Erin, my trainer, commentating.
Waiting, rolling. Oh, sorry, I can't see the jump. Good. Good job. Waiting, rolling.
There was no waiting
Plenty of
and
pace.
there was no wowing. Sorry, Erin.
Easy. Wait. Whoa. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Plenty of pace. Easy. Nice. Good girl. Waiting. There you go. Good boy. Easy. Easy. Oh. Oh. Nice, girl. Easy. Sitting. Yep, get your lead. Nice counter, Tanner. Fine. Oh, try to switch. Whoa. Good boy.
This was supposed to be 9 strides and it was 8 when we did it. Lol. This was a David O'Connor cross-country course, which is kind of cool. Okay, this is our cross-country course. Start and finish, we're at the similar place, which is always kind of nice for people that are helping you. And I had Morgan and Hannah Hupsch come and help me, so that was amazing. First fence, little log. Second fence, roll top. Third fence was this open oxer. I am not a huge fan of open oxers, and I don't know if Zimmy's ever jumped one before, so didn't know how he would react to that. And actually, this was the thing that I was worried about. 2 things. This was the first one, was this really big drop down. I mean, you can't really tell from these pictures, but it is a significant drop. And I was like, when's the last time Zim's done a drop down off a bank? I don't remember. And then kind of a related distance to 5. And then you kind of made a sharp left turn way over to the fence line and had to find this thing. And then this coming up was the second thing I was worried about. It was a turning line to this coffin, and the inn was fine, but it's a faux ditch, which tends to be spookier than real ditches in my experience. And then you jump this little house, which was fine. And then because Zimmy's a roarer and he was so hot last time, I was a little worried about the pull up to the top of the hill. This is what we call the quarry at the Kentucky Horse Park. You had to go jump over 9, go down a steep hill, back up, and then jump 10, and then come down the hill to 11. But then you had like a nice long gallop to 12. Back kind of up a hill, but then even a longer gallop from 12 to 13, kind of down, cruising down the hill, and then a little tiny little speed bump at 13 so he could catch his breath. And I actually paid attention to my minute markers on this app because I didn't want to go too fast. But as I was going around, I was like, oh, I'm actually on my minute markers. So ignore the notifications, sorry. I was getting responses to Turtle's DNA test, my dog. Anyway, and so I was on my minute markers and I was like, oh, I gotta like keep hustling. I can't be going too slow around this novice because it was really twisty turny and there was definitely some terrain. So 17 was probably the biggest jump on the course. and then 18 was this little rampy thing. So, good course.
Beckman's had 2 stops, has dropped out 4. Comes for her 3rd try now. Well, Megan Corbett has just started the course. She's over the opening log at 1.
Let's ride away. Let's ride away. Take my hand, let's run. I bring my arrows, you bring your gun. Cloud of smoke, I don't know where, but I wanna go. It's in the sky, it's in the air. If I get lost, I'll meet you there. We can fly to find our place. Let's have love and ride away. Let's ride away.
Megan Corbett just left this up. Comes out of 11. For Morgan and Del Sargent.
Let's ride away.
Last go to 190. You're on the 1.
Let's ride away. Hold on tight to what we had. When this is good, quicker than lightning. Over canyon and over plain. Let's have love and ride away. Let's ride away. Let's ride away. Let's ride away. Let's ride away.
Okay, there's Hannah and her little boy
Heads
underneath
up,
the
ladies.
tent, watching us go out of the start box. And I keep waiting
Thank
for
you,
Zim to
thanks.
realize that he is in the start box, but he, I don't know if he'll ever get super
Anna Beckman's
excited.
had
I
2
don't
stops,
usually have
has
horses
dropped out
that
4. Comes
get
for her
really
3rd
wound
try
up in
now.
the start box.
Well, Megan Corbett has just started.
It's funny, whenever I watch these helmet cams back, I always realize that I end up jumping to the left of every fence on this horse. And while I'm riding, I don't really think about it. And then, so before I went cross country, I was like, okay, you ride to the left of everything. So make sure you are just getting the shoulder around and getting straight. But, you know, you get out there and you don't think about that. You think about surviving. Anywho, this definitely was Zim's first open oxer, and he had a bit of a look at it. If you see the picture that was taken over it, his tail's like up in the air. It's funny. He had a big bold jump in here, and I was like, dude, there's a big drop down. You might want to trot. So he trotted and had a look, and I just sat still and waited for him, and then he jumped off. And we are jumping very to the left over that fence, but it's fine. I do need to address it before we go training, obviously, because we're going to be jumping things that are skinnier. But and then actually, if you look back at the very beginning of this, there's 2 people walking back on horses. Those are people that got eliminated on course right before me. So there were 20 stops at that bank down out of all the novice divisions. 20 people, combinations, had stops there. Yowza. And so now we're coming up to the coffin. Definitely had a growl at him. I just wanted him to know that he had to keep going. And I think he was going regardless, but growling can never hurt. There's another moment where I was like, this is steep, pay attention. And he was like, okay, yeah, no worries. When he first started eventing, he did not like terrain. It was like a personal affront to him to have to go up and down hills. He, not a fan of the extra effort. But now he seems to be fine.
Haha, my bad.
That was the only fence on course I really felt like I fluffed up. I thought he was going to take the bold distance, but I've got to realize that he's not quite ready for that yet. So I need to sit up and wait for the head.
Oh. Good.
I was a little bit surprised how he didn't want to go into the water. I think it was kind of a mud on the feet situation. He's a little funny about mud. But it made me realize at that point that I really need to cross-country school him a little bit more, because there's just moments like that where he's still a little bit green. The finish line. He's a super good boy. finish this vlog where I started it. Today is Tuesday. Zimmy's had Sunday, Monday off, and we just had a great weekend. It felt like all three phases were super, and it all kind of came together, which in eventing it doesn't happen very often, so we have to celebrate when it actually does. I have to be honest and say, after my last event, I kind of had a bit of a spiral. I was so disappointed in my show jumping, and I've worked so hard on my nervous system, and I just felt like I kind of failed in both regards. Like, my nervous system was so triggered and so dysregulated before each phase, and I've been working so hard on it. I was just kind of aggravated that I felt like I was still in the same place, but now with perspective, looking back, I know that it was just the first show back, and I just had to get over the hump. And this time around, this show was like night and day. Like, of course I was a little bit nervous, but I was nowhere near where I was a month ago. So thankfully I have a really cool community of friends that understand the journey I'm on, healing myself and my trauma and my nervous system, and trying to ride from a place of wholeness and from authenticity, and riding from my essence and not from my ego. And I really felt like I did that this weekend, and so it was cool. I hope I'm able to do that a lot more moving forward. I had mentioned in my last vlog that my 10x goal is doing a show jumping around in flow state, and I'm still not there yet, but like every show I go to, I'm more and more present, and I'm able to make small shades of gray improvement. Like the last show, I took my time, I knew my strides, and I knew that my step was too small. And this time I knew my strides, I knew my step was kind of big, and I actually counted out loud down a line, which is kind of a big deal for me to actually be able to say it out loud. So that was like the next step, like knowing the striding, not being in a hurry, like actually really knowing it and memorizing it, actually being in the moment enough to count while I'm riding, and then being able to be in the moment and count out loud was like the next step. And then maybe the next time out, we were too small and then we were too big. Maybe we'll be somewhere in the middle the next time around. So yeah. Every day's a learning day. Every day's a school day. So anyway, that wraps it up. We came in second. We finished on our dressage score of 28.3. And yeah, we're going to go cross-country schooling in August. No shows planned in August. Maybe some show jumping rounds and some cross-country schooling. And then hopefully we'll be back out, probably still at novice, at Flying Cross, which is like one of my very local events. And then maybe a move up at Middle Tennessee in October, but we'll see. We'll play by ear. I'm not like desperate. And that actually brings me along to my theme of the weekend, which was surrender over desperation. So when you hold on to things really tight and you want a certain outcome, or you want your horse to act a certain way, or you want your nervous system to behave and you're holding really tight, that's usually when things don't go the way you want them to. But if you can surrender to the journey and surrender to whatever outcome is meant for you, I just felt like that was the attitude that I took this weekend, and really worked for me, and made me a lot more relaxed, made me a lot more present and able to attune to my horse, and to be a good friend and to be a good rider. and partner. And so, yeah, surrender to the journey. It's my advice. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.